What's up, guys? So today I want to try something different. I want to try a spacecraft in the forest, and it's not going to be like your standard spacecraft. It'll be something like a pink triangle, maybe with some alien stuff on it, some alien writing. And so I'm just going to give it a go. See what happens here. Let's try let's look at the angles. So let's kind of go with the triangle angle. Triangle angle. Piece of cheese. What if we did something like this? Bam. So instead of it being like fully three-dimensional, we're going to do something like that. And then we're going to add in some symbols. Something like that. And you can really just do whatever you want to do. It's your picture. I've seen a bunch of different symbols written from folks who say they've had real alien encounters with ships. If you've ever checked out the Rendlesham Forest case, they've got a whole bunch of different symbols from that craft, and really cool stuff. But this is not that. This is just freeform stuff that I'm doing today. I do my own thing. You can do your own thing. Totally up to you. Whatever you want to do. If you want to check out those books, I think Jim Pennison did his own book, and he actually has the writings in there, the inscriptions of the symbols that he saw. It's pretty cool. And there was some sort of aura around the ship as well. So if I want to do that aura, let's just pretend I'm stealing a little bit from the story here. If I want to do that aura, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a pencil, kind of give like an energy field off of it. Kind of like an energy aura. That's what I'm going to do now. Apologize about that. And I'll do something like that. Soon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some paintings in the garage and introduce you to my studio. But it's a little too hot out there. I'm going to wait till it cools down. It's going to get a lot better and be a lot more comfortable. You always got to be comfortable in your studio, you know. You don't want to be uncomfortable while you're drawing, and that's not fun. Or doing your artwork, that's not fun. Unless you're in a steel mill, or you're doing like steel art or something like that, where you might have to be in a hot environment. Not my favorite thing to do. For some folks, it might be cool. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up through here and come back down. Just gonna add a little bit of energy coming through there. Energy work, right? I think like the lines help add some flow to it. There we go. And I'm sure they probably came all the way through, right? Probably had like an entire energy field around it. Okay. We'll add some more yellow in through here. Kind of ejecting its energy and molding its energy all throughout the area. Now, let's say it wasn't a forest, right? Let's just say you were walking along and you were enjoying your trip through the forest, and all of a sudden you came across some crazy looking aircraft. You might have been walking through something similar to this, similar to an environment like this, where you're just out for a nice stroll, not paying attention to anything, just going out for a walk. All of a sudden, come across just an inexplicable avionic mystery. So that would be cool, wouldn't it? Well, I don't know, cool, maybe scary, I don't know. Now let's focus on these trees for a second. What's cool is like to come do like a diagonal a little bit and have them meet up, so it's actually kind of like how a bark would be in a tree, how it kind of crisscross patterns. That's what we're going to do here. Go through here. We're going to go up and through the tree, and what you can do is you can branch off up in here, branch off up in here, because branches, they branch out, right? So some people, they like to do it straight, but then have like a few things branch off. You can go all the way through, or you can just leave it straight green. It's totally up to you. I think it's nice to have the option. So doing something like this, you know, just kind of seeing where it leads you. Sometimes you got to go where the art leads you, and it's nice to have some different pieces to it. You know, you have a branch here, you have a branch out, branch doing some crazy stuff, going off the other way. Now let's see. Let's see if I have something that'll work for this little endeavor we're doing. What if we go light green? We already had the dark green. This is actually kind of dark. If we go up through the branches, through the top, kind of make it a little bit more bushy, a little bit more in depth. Branch out a bit more. Okay. There we go. What do you think? Yeah, it's kind of coming together, isn't it? You know, because when you're, even if we're dealing with the strangeness, high strangeness of the UFO phenomenon, you want your picture to still look like it's real, like it's natural. So you have an unnatural event happening amongst a natural picture, and that is cool. And you can shade it in. Now see, this is where it could actually come in handy, where we had kind of put in some deep leaves, and then if we lightly shade it, see, by lightly shading it, you can still see the branches, which actually makes it really appear a lot more realistic, which is really cool. And we can just go straight up and down, kind of just like the branches are, and then have it seem more realistic. I like that better. Now let's see if we just did it like this. Right. What looks better? Having the branches in there, or just going straight up? Maybe we have to do some swirl options here. Just kind of swirl it up, make it look a little bit more realistic. Okay. Kind of give it some options here. Does it look good enough? I don't know. Kind of, maybe. Still kind of want to like put some branches in there, kind of have it come off. Ooh, that was dark. Let's see how it comes out. Actually, kind of doesn't look too bad. You can still see the branch work, but then you see the trees. I think it looks more realistic like this. You know, maybe a little bit darker here. This might be a little too dark, but I'm okay with that because I'm just experimenting. I don't have a preliminary picture on this one. This is the preliminary picture, so I'm okay with that. You know, because what I can do, if it is too dark, I can come in here with a dark, kind of a darker tint, cover it up, see? And so, instead of it being so in your face, now this dark green is really too in your face. So, you know, it's mysteries, it's mistakes, it's kind of learning as you go. That's okay. What if we come straight up? Bam, 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 bam. Come up. Now, it's looking a little bit more legit. Looking a little bit more legit. We start coming out, start coming up. And we start filling in as we go. And we can take a little bit more of a legit filler and have it look a little bit more realistic. So let's just say I kind of do this, kind of follow along with the branches. The dark highlighted green, really deep green. And I'm going to come in, let's try this. Come in with a little bit lighter green. We'll see how it plays out here. Let's branch it out along with the natural path of which way a tree would grow out. So the tree would grow out that way, we'll go straight up, and then we come out to the side on the other side. Then we just start filling in. And now as we're filling in, now it's really feeling a little bit more solid there. Yeah, that looks better. I like that. See, now we're getting a little bit more legit. It still looks, you know, comic book style, but it's looking more artistic. There we go. There we go. There we go. Kind of just filling it in, getting some detail. Get some detail here. Get a little bit more in line with a tree's growth. Having some bark. Some bark coming out. Okay, filling in. Yeah, boy, that looks pretty nice. Looks pretty nice. I need to get a sharpener, but I don't have one, so then we just try to find some better tips throughout your pencil, and if you can't find any, you just do the best you can. Just try to fill it in as good as you can. There we go. No, I think it looks pretty decent. Looks pretty decent. We do like a nice tight line on these sides, and just kind of fill it lightly in. And it starts looking pretty decent. There we go. There we go. Kind of widen it out here. Kind of widen it out, fill in that tree a little bit. Boom. Alright, cool. Done there. Now we need some shade in the grass. Get some grass growing here. This is a forest. Forest is gonna have grass. Wild grass. Grass is gonna be a little bit lower in spots and higher in spots. There we go. Obviously the energy barrier is coming over there, so we're not going to have that. And what I was going to do is, for some fun effect, maybe we'll put in a little bit of some pink in through the grass. Maybe we have a couple different flower species dotted throughout the grass, you know? And that's alright. There's going to be some different colors throughout the grass area. Maybe it's maybe the aliens were coming down to check out a beautiful park as opposed to just a forest preserve, right? Maybe they were doing some sightseeing. Never know. Now, what's cool here is if we had a metallic color, we could actually do something cool with this. Unfortunately, we don't, and I don't know how it's going to play out here. This is light. I don't know if it's going to come off at all. Really not much there. But what you can do with a light blue is that you can make it metallic. Kind of have a metallic look, so I'm just going to go across the whole thing and see if I can get anything out of it. If I do, great. If I don't, it doesn't seem like it's going to hurt it a whole lot. Got such a light amount out of it. Not too big of a deal. There. What we can do though is we can see how deep is this going to go. It's going to be. Just want to add some texture, you know, and there's going to be like a metallic texture to it, and that's kind of what we're doing. We're adding that metallic-y texture. What would be cool is if I had a gold and a silver, just kind of give it that nice sheen. I'm just working with what I got, and sometimes that's what you gotta do. You gotta work with what you got. What I'm gonna do is I have to add some kind of like a nice turquoise and yellow. It seems kind of strange, but what we're really trying to do is we're adding depth on this craft. And that's what we want to do in a craft that's emitting energy. It's going to have a lot of strange coloring to it, right? It's going to be emoting maybe like a kaleidoscope of colors. And so that's what we want to be doing with this. And I was just going to see. It's nice to have that extra page here just to kind of see what's going to come off. And just to kind of give us like that strangeness, like kind of an iridescence, you know, off of the craft. We're just doing this real light, you know, you can barely see it, but sometimes the devil's in the details, and it can make a big difference when you're looking at it from a, I don't know what you call it, like a observer standpoint, you know, like just an artist observer standpoint. So there we go, kind of seeing that coming there together. And if we can blend it with some gray on the side, you know, see if we're going sideways on this, and if we can blend this to look metallic-y without having a metallic pencil, right? That's the key. It's like sometimes you got to do stuff without the proper tools. You might not have everything that you need or you want, but if you don't have the right tools, that's all right, because you can kind of work with it. And let's see here. We got some pink. Got some pink. Let's see. Let's see how this looks here. So we want to blend it into the pink. We want the pink to have some part of this, right? Because the pink is on the outside. So we want the pink to kind of reflect in and have part of this engagement. We don't want to leave it out, right? So now, see, look what's happening is that we're getting this reflection in the back as we're putting color over the top. We're getting that like iridescence. That's exactly what we're looking for, is that iridescence, and seeing how it comes out, seeing how it plays out. I think that makes such a huge difference when you're trying to engage with the pink. Just try to have something that flows out, you know. And that's what I wanted to do there. What do you think? What do you think this craft needs? I wanted to keep it light over there, especially because that's like where the symbols like we're at. Maybe there's like an energy center back there. Let's see how deep this is here. Yeah, it's heavy. So we gotta be careful with, you know, the lines that we can use with this, because it's really, really powerful marker. So, you know, when we're looking at blending, gotta see if we can find something that'll blend well. And if it's not going to blend well, then it's not worth using. So if we use that, use this, well, that looks pretty good now. See, it kind of blends in. So can we use this to blend even further? You know, or to have like an aura outside of the ship too. You know, maybe we can leave the lines alone, and then we can start having that like giving off that aura. Boom, 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 boom. See, yeah, giving off that aura into the ether here, into its energy field, and we can use that perfectly because it's not so dark like the main pink to the ship is. It's very light and very ethereal, and so when you're using that ethereal, see, it depends on the marker. Depends on what it's going to give you, you know. There we go. And we might have to blend it in some more, maybe with a pencil. Well, that's all right too. Maybe we can even come outside of it a little bit, see what comes out. Boom, 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 boom. See, now it's kind of like, it's almost kind of acting like paint where it's interacting with the yellow a little bit there. I like that. Yeah, see, there we go. Yeah, so that's helping a lot. There we go. This is really kind of creating this energy field. It's actually pretty cool. Bam, 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 bam. See, now it's really taking on a life of its own there. Now what we can do is we can add into the green around it and kind of see how it plays out here. Maybe I need to use a little bit more fuller. Filling it in. Filling it in. There we go. Okay, there we go. Giving it some real world feel to it. Some grass. Maybe this is tall grass, you know? Maybe it's landing in like the tall grassy area. Kind of seeing where it can best protect itself from us dangerous humans, right? No, really filled that in. Now, you know, is there a lot of complexity to this? No, not really. Can we add some complexity to it? Sure we can. You know, it's always an option. It's always an option. So can we fill in this a little bit so it looks a little bit more foresty? Yeah, fill this in a little bit, give it some more greenery there. You know, and now it looks, you know, if we put some blue in the back for the sky, it looks like it could be like a real witness rendition of what happened here. You know, at a crash site, or not a crash site, but at a UFO encounter. Let's see what we got here. Sometimes these are real deep. That's a good blue. Yeah, plenty of kind of light though. So if we can add some light blue into the sky back here, you know, I mean, it could have been dark. This could still be like kind of a darkish color, and we can make it dark with a little bit of purple. Just adding a few little layers across, we can do that. Just going back and forth is good too. Kind of bam. Just adding a little bit more to the rest of the side, up to the top. Just filling it in the imagination. You know, painting a picture for the person who's seeing this and kind of saying, what is going on here? Is this real? Is this? We don't want it to seem like too cartoony, right? We want it to seem real. We want it to seem like it's something that could have happened. But if the background doesn't fit, if there's too much for the eye to try to figure out, then the person can't get the real feel of the environment. So we want to give that feel of the environment to the person. Checking out your art and seeing what's going on. I'm not the best with markers. I usually do colored pencils, so I'm still kind of getting the feel for how markers really relate to the media, the page. But it's kind of cool up here. It looks like binary a little bit, like computer printed camouflage or something like that. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, if we can make that darker, kind of mess around with it a little bit so that, oh boy, okay, see, that's what Bob Ross would call a happy accident. So what we'll have to do is we're gonna have to blend. Gonna have to blend this in. Okay. We're gonna make some clouds, and it's gonna work out fine. But you know, it's one of those things where if you make an accident, you gotta kind of see what's going on and fix it. Okay. Actually, it doesn't look too bad just like that. But if we want to blend it in a little bit more, we can definitely do that. What we can do is, if there's anything left.